What is going on, everybody? I just want to do a very quick video on basically how the dots work today, how they kept you out of chop and then led you in the right direction with a proper drawn liquidity. So, going into the day, today is non-farm payroll, Friday, September the 5th. So, right here where my mouse is, 8:30 a.m. Eastern, is the non-farm payroll number. And what I said in my Discord at the time, an hour before, is one thing that I want to look for is if there's a prominent wick that forms on that 8:30 1 minute candle. Those wicks, if they're formed, they like to get taken out, returned to. So you can see I highlighted it here. So the dots, so the market opens at 9:30, and then you can see the dots starts populating. So when the dots are mixed, I say this all the time in the room, when the dots are mixed, do nothing. And I am looking for what I call all uniform dots to an obvious liquidity. So this looks like a good potential liquidity point. This kind of wick tells me that there are some buyers that could be trapped who are looking to get out. And then we also, like I said earlier, we have the data wick to our bottom left. So ideally, I want to see dots momentum to this high, to this data wick low. And that is basically, that predicates how I like to trade. I just wait for the dots to align, and then I pair it with an obvious draw on liquidity. So you can see chop, chop, chop. When the dots are mixed, do nothing. And right here, we get our first column of all red dots. ATR was about 36 points. So I'm selling there. Looking for about, 40 points as a stop, 40 points as a target. Again, this is the, I screwed that up, but this is the direction of the data wick low, which I highlighted. So you can see price ends up hitting the ATR and then ultimately goes down to its data wick low, and then you can see just continues melting lower. So I wanted to illustrate this point. So when the market opened, dots were mixed. When the dots are mixed, do nothing. I was doing nothing. I was doing nothing. I was doing nothing until 9:52, where the dots fired all red. Enter. Use the ATR or previous high as wiggle room for your stop so you don't get wicked out. And then obvious targets. You have the VWAP. We traded through, started closing candles below, and then down. Data wick low was a target that I highlighted at 7:40 in the morning in my Discord. And then at minimum, so you look for some kind of entry function that you test to get a part of this move lower. But at minimum, you're just not even thinking about longs. Not even thinking about longs. Dots are red, dots are red. Don't fight the dots. Eventually, you'll get a retrace, which it looks like we could be right now, but 900, that's 400 points lower. So anyway, that's how I like to use the dots. Dots to liquidity, to obvious targets. And it's been a pretty good week for the dots. 7-day free trial link in the bio. Code DOTS is 20% off any subscription. Feel free to reach out with any questions. Thank you.